What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we're going to be talking about weapon variants and whether or not they're just going to be completely overpowered throughout all of Infinite Warfare. The reason why I'm talking about this now is because we have a lot of information that we didn't originally have from the beginning of the beta till now, because, well, I've played with a lot of these weapons, and I'm actually going to be able to tell you guys what I think of each of them, because we're going to go through and look at several different epic variants, and then at the end, talk about why this is going to be a problem and suggest some ways to fix it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is what they said at the very beginning of the beta. At the very beginning of the Infinite Warfare beta, they said that they are upping the amount of salvage we'll be getting throughout the beta so that we get a chance to use some of the epic variants. The thing with that is when the game's fully released, we're actually going to be getting salvage even slower than what they kind of showed us in the beta. At least that's what they said. So what I'm getting at is I think they're going to do one of two things. Either take out the daily bonuses altogether, or two, and what I hope they do, leave in the daily bonuses, but make them worth less salvage and less keys. I don't know for sure which way they'll be doing it. Maybe they'll keep it the same, but they did say at the very beginning of the beta that they were going to be giving us more salvage throughout the beta than you would normally get on the full game release, so we'd get a chance to play with some of these weapons. So knowing that, this means it's going to be more difficult to get the variants throughout Infinite Warfare once the game is fully released. So having the best possible variants is going to be very important. And by the way, there's all these videos coming out right now that are saying, this is the best epic variant in the game. People haven't played enough with the guns yet. People don't know the stats of the weapons yet. Once the stats are out and all of that stuff, I will bring you guys videos telling you what the best variants are, because by that point, we'll kind of have a pretty good idea of it. That being said, I think I do have a pretty good idea of the 3 best normal base weapons in the game. And if you guys want me to make a video about that, hit the like rating and it'll show me that you want to see that. Maybe in tomorrow's video, maybe later on this week. But you can let me know down in the comments, or just simply hit that like button if you'd like to see that. That's all I ask. But what are these variants and why are they going to be overpowered? So the first weapon I want to look at that is just a glowing example of what I want to talk about is the NV4 Flatline, the epic variant of the NV4. Now, your NV4 is your most stereotypical assault rifle that you can imagine. It's just any game. It's like your M4 from Call of Duty 4, that kind of thing. Just super stereotypical assault rifle. Now, with this variant, you get 2 things. First of all, you get precision, which infinite damage range. Not increased damage range, infinite damage range. So the damage range never drops off. Also, on top of that, we've got focus, reduced idle sway while aiming down sight. So 2 things. Increased range and increased aiming. Not less recoil, but you'll have less idle sway, so it will just be easier to aim. Now, 2 increases with no decreases in the explanation of it. However, if we look at the stats down below, we can see -4 for the fire rate. Now, I don't know whether it actually does that, because nowhere in the weapon description does it say that it actually does that. So the question is, once we get the stats for all the weapons, once all the coding is released for the PC version of the game, what will the stats look like for this weapon? Will there actually be a decrease in fire rate, or will it just be 2 amazing increases for the weapon, being damage range and also idle sway? The reason why this is so devastating if they don't nerf anything on it is because you can use a suppressor with this weapon with infinite damage range and have no negative aspects. So you can be running around completely off the radar with infinite damage range and reduced idle sway, making it super easy for you to aim. So obviously the epic variant of it is going to be much better than the regular or common variant of this weapon, unless they actually do decrease the fire rate by an actual pretty large amount. But like I said, we're going to have to wait until we see all of the full weapon stats for all of the weapons to actually compare this in the future. The Versus series will actually be so good in Infinite Warfare because we'll be able to compare these epic weapons to the regular weapons, or an epic weapon to an epic weapon. I think it'll be really, really good going into Infinite Warfare. And if you're new to the channel and don't know what the Versus series is, basically normally we just put 2 weapons head to head to see which one is better. We do it all the time on this channel, and you should subscribe if you've never seen it before. But this is just one example of one of these weapons that I think was much better than the base variant, but let's look at some more. The next weapon here that's a glowing example of this is the Ripper. So this is a variant of the RPR Evo that actually looks nothing like the RPR Evo, but the stats that are changed on this one is rapid fire and focus. So rapid fire is increased fire rate, focus is reduced idle sway, kind of like we saw on the NV4 Flatline. Now, this one is super interesting because there is no negative aspects to this, because rapid fire, what it would normally cause is more recoil, but focus makes it so it's easier to aim with the weapon. So if you look at the stats bar down below, you can see +4 fire rate, -1 accuracy. Now, I've picked picked up this weapon, and it's just better in every single way possible. So like I said, they're going to have to do something negative to this weapon to kind of average it out, because as of right now, this just looks like the Speakeasy from Advanced Warfare to me. Just one of the best weapons in the game already, and on top of that, you got some increased fire rate, just like the Speakeasy. So the opposite of this, one that I actually think they balanced properly, is the Mauler Mammoth variant. So this one, you got two things. You got Sharpshooter, which is increased damage range, so kind of like the NV4 Flatline, but it's not unlimited. It does drop off still out of range. And Heavy Hitter, double damage and a slower fire rate. This is fine, because if you double the damage and slow the fire rate, it doesn't necessarily make the weapon amazing. A weapon with a higher fire rate will probably still outgun the Mammoth. Now, we haven't seen the stats for this yet, and we don't know how good it is, but going hand in hand with the Sharpshooter perk is still very good. And just guessing myself, this has got to be better than the base variant. So those players that play a ton are really going to be rewarded for unlocking these weapons, or the players that pay a shit ton and unlock a ton of supply drops will be rewarded. So the first epic weapon I unlocked was this one, the R3KT. Now the reason why I unlocked this one first is because it's completely different from the base weapon. The base weapon is a burst action weapon. This one has the Point Break perk, which makes this weapon fully automatic and reduces its recoil. And trust me, I've used this thing a lot. It doesn't have any recoil. It's so easy to aim with. Also, stockpile increased ammo, so it's not a huge amount of ammo you get on top of it, but it is a little bit. So the thing with this one is it slows down the fire rate. It does slow down the fire rate, but at the same time, it's fully automatic, so there is no burst delay. So all in all, I'd be willing to guess that the fire rate overall with this weapon, normally the base variant, is almost exactly the same as the R3KT with no burst delay. They almost average out to the exact same fire rate, if you ask me. So the only things that really happen to this weapon is you don't have to wait for burst delay, you have reduced recoil, and you have increased ammo. So this weapon is really good. I enjoyed playing with this. Some people said it was underpowered, but if you keep your distance with this weapon, you just pick people off. It's really, really good. But like I said, these are just some examples. I'm not going to go through and show you every single one of them because it's more of the same thing. Improved weapons by two aspects, and really no proof that they've made the epic variants any worse to kind of even them out or put in some sort and incorporate some sort of weapon balance with the epic weapons compared to the base variants of the weapons. Now, like I said, sometimes with these like main menus, they don't always show us the full weapon stats, and that's why we need to wait for the full game to come out and see the full weapon stats list. However, as of right now, I am worried because these epic weapons are just way better than the base variants simply by looking at their perks and even the charts themselves. So, like I said, we're going to have to wait to see, but if you ask me, that Ripper, the Ripper variant with increased fire rate, the one I compared to the Speakeasy, is going to be pretty damn good. Like I said, I didn't unlock it, but what I did get to do is I got to pick it up a couple of times, and whenever I picked it up, I definitely got a few kills with it, so it was pretty good. But like I said, we're going to have to wait for all the stats to come out. So, if you want to see those weapon stat videos when they come out, I will be uploading every single weapon in the game with all the stats, of course, like I did through Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3. So stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button if you're looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Do you think these weapons are overpowered? I think they're really borderlining it. So, like I said, let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Check out my Twitch, Twitter, and Let's Play channel down in the description. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.